Welcome to yet another weekly UnPC. I am Chris, aka Thanks Skeleton, your host. I am running a UnPC every single week this year. Haven't missed one yet. UnPC, we're going to randomly roll a dungeon master, a setting, and a tone/theme, and see if we can roleplay in an immersive manner. I am Chris. Let's go down the line, introducing our wonderful contestants.
Hi, I'm the Archmaster of Architrave Gaming. That's me.
All right.
I'm here. I'm alive.
And I'm Brian. I go by the Spawner in YouTube chat and on Discord. And yeah, I love role playing.
That's great.
So let's do it.
That's what we're here for. Let's go ahead. Slight camera adjustment there. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. The Spawner, can you go ahead and roll a d20 representing the tone/theme?
Sure thing. 4.
A 4. Drama. This represents that there is some sort of interpersonal conflict between the characters.
Oh, between the characters. Okay.
Yes. Then we've got setting. Archmaster, can you roll a d20 for setting?
9.
A 9.
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi. A broad topic. That's great. Okay, now we're going to roll the GM. I'm going to roll a 1 and 2. That's me. 3 and 4. That's Archmaster. 4 and 5 and 6. That's the Spawner. Ooh, Mr. Archmaster, you are the Dungeon Master.
Yes, I was hoping for that.
I will awesome. In that spot. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. So drama, science fiction. We usually let the prospective GM drive the discussion. But if we have some ideas, we'll chime in.
I have almost zero experience with sci-fi. I'm a fantasy all the way kind of guy. So let's go with this. Have either of you played Titanfall 2?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I've seen it on YouTube.
Okay, cool. How about this? Not cyberpunk, Blade Runner, super edgy thing. A more war sci-fi, more bright. Well, I don't know about bright, but just not dark, edgy city sci-fi. I'm just throwing stuff out there. You are either soldiers or mercenaries. You are kitted out either with like steroids, augmentation, mechanical, whatnot on you. And there is some organization that you're working for that's dying. It is going out of favor, going out of power, etc. And you are, it's like either the losing side of a war or the losing faction, corporation, etc. And there is something that you are all essentially like pledged to serve that my mind just goes to Titans. They're like these big robots that y'all are protecting. That can change, but let's just go with this for now. They're these big Titans, big robots that y'all used in your fighting and whatnot. And the whole point of what you're doing is that you are here to like kind of like serve these robots or set them up in the world and establish them in certain places in the world to then like control that part, that region, that world. So it was more like a religious thing where it's like, we need to take our Titan and set them up in town square X and town square Y and town square Z in order to like spread the faith or the ethics of steroids or like whatever you want. Right. And so now there's like one left, and this is the one that y'all are like, how do we use this? Where do we use this? Where you both are, religiously invested in this. This is our thing. This is what we've been fighting for this whole time. And now we're losing. And now there's one left that we have access to, some kind of drama on how you use this or where to put it, or like who should be in charge of it, or some kind of moral dilemma about what's essentially taking your God, your idol, your whatever thing, and what to do with it now that everything around you is collapsing. I don't know. That's just what came to mind.
Okay. That's a complex premise. So let me ask a couple.
I'm a complex guy.
Yeah. So, first of all, you mentioned kind of like the idea that we're like military. It sounds like we're not going to be like playing with chain of command stuff. It sounds like we're kind of like we're in charge of setting up the the Titan, and we're making decisions on that front. Does that sound?
Yeah, so it's either y'all are deserters or you're just a bunch of privates and all your command structure has been wiped out, and you see one of these Titans and you're like, we're the only ones left. What do we do with this? I don't know.
I would prefer if we have some sort of connection to society, because if we're just kind of like setting up a Titan, it's kind of hard to compare.
Let's
so if we set up this Titan, it does something good.
Yeah, what exactly do the Titans do? Do they sit in the town square and just spew out propaganda for our religion, or do they do something else?
Could be anything. I can keep going and keep workshopping it. It's open for y'all to have any ideas.
Like maybe it does good things in the town that would make people want to follow, or at least believe in whatever it's saying.
It might even be think of it, instead of a robot, think of it more like a terraforming force, where this thing plugged into this spot will change this region,
purifies the water around or something like that.
Yeah, robot, it can be a chip in your hand, but like whatever thing, this is your idol, this is your god, this is the thing that's so important to you. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be a robot. It just has to be something that both of you have strong opinions on.
It's a technology that we worship.
Yes, exactly. And it doesn't have to be military. It can just be like cult or like any sort of structure that is collapsing. And there are others around you that are members or former members. Maybe they deserted a week ago and they're like, hey, it's all falling apart. We're not in it anymore. But maybe we'll help you, maybe not. Because, you're still doing that? Come on, guys. It's a lost cause.
And the drama, to bring it back to the drama, I mean, it could be things like losing our faith of this technology, or beliefs of
others
this,
losing their faith.
Just like others are losing their faith, right?
And the fact that others are and have always been opposed to this faith and opposed to this idea, and so maybe others are trying to take this thing from you or destroy it or corrupt it or something, and so maybe you both have different ideas of this thing should be protected or hidden away, or no, we should actually use it, or no, maybe we should just destroy it so that no one else corrupts it. Any sort of like, I don't know.
Okay, so let me try to connect it to a franchise that I'm more familiar with. This sounds kind of like we're Fallout, Brotherhood of Steel type guys. Does that make sense?
Sure, yeah, that works.
Where we've got some kind of like holy technology.
Yes.
And we want to use it for something. So we kind of understand that it is technology and it does something, but we're also kind of like, this is a holy thing. So that kind of vibe. Does that make sense?
Yeah. If you want to go with Fallout, if Spawners is familiar with Fallout, they have a thing called a GECK, a Garden of Eden creation kit, and you take it, and it hasn't made much of an appearance in the later games, but it's some kind of like briefcase, and you open it up and click a bunch of buttons, and it essentially terraforms an area and makes it green and lush. So maybe we can do a Fallout, and you actually just have a GECK if you want to do that, if you're familiar with it.
Sure. I think we could switch over to kind of like being in the Fallout universe.
Does that want Fallout sci-fi?
Well, do they celebrate it as a religion? I guess that doesn't have to be a matter if it's a religion or not, but I think that was my only thought.
The reason I chose religion is that religion often gives people strong opinions about stuff that contrast.
Yeah. Yes.
Y'all can even be from different religions or groups or whatnot that are trying to use the same thing, but you are in the same party, so I don't know.
Do we want to do like Kirkland's signature Fallout, or do we want to do Fallout?
I don't want to. I don't want to.
Signature, that's the store brand.
Yeah. Well, I would prefer not doing Fallout, just because I hate to get something wrong and have.
Sure. Anyway. Well, I personally don't give a shit, and I think when we're talking about kind of like the different chapters of the Brotherhood of Steel, we could do whatever.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about super consistent.
But it's also like if we don't do Fallout, you might be more free to co-create.
Exactly.
Games.
Right. Yeah.
So,
that's what I mean.
Let's do kind of like sort of like the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yes.
As kind of like a base. Does that work for everyone?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, we could also be on a different planet too. Like,
sure.
I mean, I don't know.
We don't have to be on
that
Earth.
was another thought I had. Yeah, we don't necessarily maybe almost. I don't know if you've ever played RimWorld, but it is just all these different kind of worlds that have very similar situations happening on them, where there are different tech levels and people are just trying to like survive on the planet, and that could be very similar to what we're talking about. Where if we have this device that could rejuvenate an area of land or make something more habitable, then that would be very powerful. I mean, it would in a Fallout scenario, but also just in a colonization kind of a scenario.
I watched Iron Lung a couple months ago, and the main character is part of some like religious group, cult or something that is all about like preserving seeds and planting them again, because the Earth died a long time ago and people are in spaceships or something. And so I guess that's where I got this idea that y'all have this thing, you're part of this group, this cult, and there's this thing that you're trying to protect, and you have different ideas on how to use it. I'm just telling you where I got the idea from.
Sure, yeah.
I see Chris is making his character.
Yeah. So as a reminder, I don't know do you know about the smart character sheet, Spawner?
Yes, I do. I have it up. I rolled a character just now.
Me too. So I basically have my stats already.
Like Vintar.
Yeah, Acolyte Vintar. Do we want to name the thing? Instead of a Gek, it's something else.
Yeah, we need a little more concrete stuff to go on. We can call it the Seeds of Eden.
Sure, sounds good.
The seed of Eden or whatever. Okay, what is this drama, and how is this drama going to play out and last for an hour and a half? Like, there has to be some reason that you're connected and agree, but some reason that you're not, and there has to be some central axis by which this, the tension and resolution.
I think the idea of that, we probably are going to have slightly different opinions on how to use this Seed of Eden is enough of a seed. Haha. And
you need to be in a scenario that allows one or the other. So I need to come up with something that...
Sure. I would say, however you want to feel it out, I think that's okay. I would say try to include other people, other NPCs
of
and
course.
Stuff to add the kind of like the stakes and the texture and the other stuff. But in terms of what I need to play, I think I'm pretty good. I'm good now. I've got a character. I've got kind of like, based on their stats, I kind of know what they want more or less. I've made inferences on how I'm going to play them. So the question is, do you feel like you have enough to get started, Mr. GM?
I want to just give the premise that I have and make sure we all agree on it before we start.
Yep.
Because I, in general, am not a low prep GM, so this is a challenge.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So y'all are on, I'll say, a ship, so that you can have mobility and choice. You're on a ship, some kind of vessel. You've just escaped from like a space station where your main headquarters has just been destroyed, just been attacked, and so you're flying away, looking out through the window, seeing all the enemies converge on your space station, and y'all escaped with a Seed of Eden, and you're going down planet side. And the first question, kind of between the two of you, is where do we land planet side? There's the there's needs to be some kind of choice, some kind of, well, there's this group and there's that group. Where do we land? And then within each of those groups, a choice of, okay, what do we do once we get there? Because it's like, okay, I can agree to go to base 1 instead of base 2, but we still disagree on what to do when we're in base 1. So you want to
sure, yeah. I think the premise of kind of like we are staring at the navigation console, choosing where to land makes sense. That's kind of like where we'll start. Does that sound good?
Okay, yeah,
We'll be
this is a challenge. This is great.
Yeah. I would say just as kind of like a tip, if you're trying to do like low prep stuff, don't worry about so much about like providing an entire universe because I look at the screen, right? You can kind of give simple details, and it's up to us to kind of like fill in gaps and kind of like co-create. So don't worry so much about like I need to provide the most profound stuff every time Vintar looks at something. Like, don't worry about that.
Okay.
I will also be an acolyte. Maybe we can bounce off ideas about what this religion is about together, since we're both early adopters. Like,
Vintar, you are way ahead in classes of acolyte Westcott. You are more knowledgeable. You got better grades. You aren't necessarily an authority, but you are,
let me co-create that part.
Okay, all right.
We'll figure it out. We don't need the GM to do that part.
Just giving seeds.
So let's quickly kind of if you look at the spreadsheet here, it says roll, talk about the setting, introduce the characters. Acolyte Vintar is someone with a calm and smooth affect. He has raised through the ranks with a kind word and a soft voice. So that's Acolyte Vintar. He's kind of thin and slender. He's wearing brown robes.
Acolyte Westcott also wearing brown robes, but is a lot thin, wiry. Seems to always be a little paranoid whenever anyone talks to them, and is always on their toes.
All right, I guess we'll start playing then. Let me close this off.
All right. Flying through space. The air getting warmer as the atmosphere of the planet you're in, as you enter the atmosphere. You are not alone on this essentially escape pod shuttle. There is a woman, a fellow initiate, not even full acolyte yet. She is wounded. She is this is like a 2-room shuttle. She is in the back room, injured after the attack. She's unconscious currently. As the hull of the shuttle shakes around you and the orange glow appears on the front visor and the front glass, the sound of breaking through the atmosphere gets louder and louder until there's a pop, a burst, and the turbulence stops. And there's just the upper atmosphere, the clouds that you're flying through, and your console starts to beep, and the shuttle is mapping the area below, and 2 locations appear, 2 locations to land, 2 bases.
Vintar looks down at the computer console and presses the autopilot button. We have some time to decide still. And I turn my chair over to Westcott.
Westcott's eyes are bugging. It looks over to Vintar and back to the screen. What are our choices?
I stared down at the screen. You can see that one of these is in a wetland, but the other one is not. I zoom in on the one that is not.
It is a mountainous region. There is a radio signal coming from it, currently broadcasting.
Some signs of civilization.
Yes, perhaps they would appreciate the device. I grip the sides of my chair, lean forward, hovering my finger over the mountain area on the map.
I think we should be decisive. And I nod. Go, press it.
I push my finger. A prompt comes up on the screen, and I approve, engage.
The shuttle's engines whir to life, and the creaking of the ship as it starts to turn and shift, and the thrusters pick up, and you are moving at a brisk pace toward the mountain base.
The Great Spirit shall guide us. Whatever decisions we make, I only hope that the denizens here are open to hearing our words. Are you injured, brother?
I don't believe so, but I believe she is back there. Fortunately, she's unconscious, so there's not much to do now for her.
Very well.
Back over to Vintar.
I feel that we should check our most holy artifact in the hold to make sure that it is still safe. Join me. Perhaps we can engage with it and pray over it. I lift up from my the cushioned captain's chair and begin walking on the soft red carpet towards the deeper bowels of the ship.
I unstrap myself and follow along directly behind Acolyte Vintar.
In the far back compartment, in a repurposed specimen tube, lies your seed of Eden, and the case itself, having not had much time to examine it before now, the case itself appears to have some damage, some crack along the outside casing.
I say, "Oh no!" I tenderly press my palm against the cracks.
There is no immediate sensation, but the structural integrity is obviously damaged, and the rim around where it is opened up and to actually get at the inside, the crack extends along the rim itself and has broken whatever latch seal there was to keep it stable until the time of use.
Don't break it more. I put my hand on Vintar's hand, pulling it back.
Don't worry, I have a gentle touch. I take a step back and stare carefully at the seed.
It is a metal case with various designs, various almost like circuitry on the outside of it, but overlaid with various religious drawings and scrawlings and whatnot that match up with the circuitry added on by your group. The seal, it's still closed. It's like it's supposed to open up and be activated. It's still closed, but it's just slightly open as the crack has broken whatever latch was on it.
I lean forward and analyze, try to remember back to my class that I had of diagnosing to see if this is still work.
On the outside, nothing is more visible than what has already been described. You would need to either have someone else examine it or open it up to get more information.
I remember that I learned in choir that the germination of the seed is one of the most beautiful things a human being could witness.
Yes, I am very proud to be one that will witness this. I bow down in front of the seed of Eden, praying.
I join him, bowing my head.
The console at the front of the ship begins to beep at the exact moment that the woman begins to cough and call out for help.
The initiate, she must be awake now.
I wish to commune with the seed. Do you think you can help her?
I nod and stand up from my bowing position and walk towards the front of the ship. I check on the initiate.
She is lying in the medical bed on the side there, coughing and holding her side, and she doesn't seem all there, but she says, I need water, please, water.
Yes, of course. I scramble around in the medical bay until I can find a small beaker, completely with demarcations for measurements, and I go to a nearby faucet and fill it up and run over to her. Here,
she
drink
takes it.
this.
She takes it greedily and spills it, and she's like, please, I need help. Where are we? Who are you? I've seen you. I know you.
I nod. Initiate. My name is Acolyte Westcott. You are currently on a mission to bring the seed of Eden to very worthy people.
A mission? I was barely an initiate. What kind of a mission have I been entrusted with? I think you must speak falsely.
I do not, sister. You have been chosen. Whether you are to like it or not, but we are on our way to spread the word and spread the seed of Eden.
She sort of sits up in bed and uses her elbow to brace herself, and she grabs your arm and says, if what you say is true, then I must arise. And she grabs your arm, lifts herself up, sits upright, and inches forward onto her toes and steps on the ground. She's wearing the clothes that she had. There's a gash on the lower left side, and it's not actively bleeding, but it's clear that there was some trauma there. So she holds it with one hand and holds your arm for support and says, where are we going, Acolyte Westcott?
I pull away from her a bit. Sister, please. Looking uncomfortable. I've told you, but you must rest. It looks like you are injured very dearly.
If I have a mission, then the seed. She sits back slightly and says, if I have a mission, then destiny will bring me to fulfill it. I shall survive. But if we can, where are we going? Do they have medical facilities there?
Back in the seed room, I whisper under my breath, "Seed, tell me your secrets." And I activate a diagnostic display next to the seed of Eden. On the screen, 3 categories come to life: agriculture, industry, and weapon. Yes, you are powerful, aren't you, seed? I turn off the display and walk out into the ship.
The console is still beeping.
I begin to walk towards the front of the ship and the beeping console.
There is a transmission. The same on the same frequency, but not the exact same transmission as that which was coming earlier from the mountain area. You are being hailed.
I press the acknowledge button, but I shout into the back. Westcott, the people from the colony are speaking to us. Come quickly.
I separate myself from the initiate, and please, one moment, and rush out of the med bay up to the front. What is it, Acolyte Vintar?
They are hailing us. I press the button to begin communications.
It is an audio-only communication. A man with a gruff voice answers. Finally! How long does it take to answer? Bloody hail! Who are you? State your business.
We are members of the Order of the Great Spirit. We have come to your world bearing gifts to those that follow the Great Spirit.
The Great Spirit, huh? That Seed of Eden stuff? Again, with this. Is this you up there in the sky? The big bright lights? What's going on up there in orbit? Did you have anything to do with it? Tell us.
I glance over to Westcott, and I quickly tap the mute mic button. I do not think that we should involve them in our internal struggles just yet. What do you think?
I solemnly am standing with my hood up for my robe, and I nod and say I agree. It is the Great Spirit's will that we are here. If our ship, the Galilee, was destroyed and we were sent here, then I believe that this was fate.
I shall say that we do not know, but we have escaped.
These myths, truths, they are acceptable in my terms.
I press the unmute button. I say, we are escaping the disaster. We know not what caused it. Our ship, the Galilee, is damaged, perhaps fatally. We are an escape shuttle.
So you'll be needing engineers then? Is that all? Escaped unscathed?
I look hesitantly around the shuttle.
I speak up. We may need medical assistance. I step forward into the camera's view.
Well, you're in luck, but it'll be costly. We have the best medical on the planet, best medical planet side. But, again, comes at a cost. Hope you have something to trade. The woman behind you stumbles into the room at the door frame, and she looks and is just barely hearing what's going on and says, where's the seed guiding us? And she steps forward. What can I do to help? She stumbles toward the console.
I jam the mute button and say, please, we know not their culture. We do not want to involve you just yet. Please stay in the back.
I rush over to the initiate. You should be and hold her up and steady. You should be back in the med bay. You are gravely injured.
But I have a mission. I have a mission to preserve the seed.
We all share this mission, initiate. But you must trust the spirit.
I do. That is why I'm here. She moves by you and sits down on one of the chairs and looks at the console and motions to continue the conversation.
I go at ease and look back towards the camera.
I unmute the microphone and begin to say, yes, we have injured, and we do have things of trade. Our escape shuttle seems to be in working order. But we hope that you will welcome us to your settlement. Can you provide a place for us to set down?
Yeah, Northern Dark... And the signal starts to get jammed right as he's saying, right in the middle of his sentence, and a gargled transmission comes through instead. Hey, you! You're not going there, are you? No, it's the worst idea. You can't go there. Come to the wetlands. You're going to the wrong place. I recognize the ship. You're from Galilee. No, those people aren't. They're not what you want. You gotta come here. Wetlands. Go southwest.
Who do I speak to?
Oh, you don't speak to just nobody. You speak to former priest. But it's all done now. Galilee's done. It's all done. But you can't go there, I tell you. You can't go. Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter what you need. It'll be too much. The price they ask will be too high. You can't go. And the transmission starts to fade slightly as the ship moves further away from the wetlands, closer to the mountains.
I press on the buttons to reconnect to the mountain transmission line. Are you there?
Yeah, there's too much interference. Yes. Northern landing pad, spot 2. Make sure not to crash into the mountain.
Thank you. And I turn off the transmission while looking at Westcott.
I slowly sit in one of the chairs in the bridge and look over to Vintar. We are being tested, I believe. I think the Great Spirit is giving us a decision.
I look over at the slumped over initiate and say, yes, we are being tested. Have you heard of what happened to the acolytes on the world of Rylos 4? It is a story that will terrify. Cannibalism. These off-worlders have strange customs. They may look at us as a meal rather than their salvation. I rise and approach the med kit on the wall and take it off.
I look over to Vintar. Vintar, I stand up. Do you have experience with medicine?
I do not. But I believe that many of these tinctures and droplets can be administered by those that are ignorant. Tell me, what do you know of this? And I open up the med kit, displaying the many rows and rows of medical devices and pills. What do you know of this?
I shake my head. I've never been injured, and I have never had training with these tinctures and salves. I would be unfortunately untrained if I were to attempt to help our initiate. I look over to the initiate.
She still sits there slumped over, and she says, "Forgive me for speaking out of turn, but am I to understand that we were warned not to go to the..." She points on the console to the base here in the mountains.
the locals, the natives, they are separated into fractious tribes as normal for the people of far-flung worlds. So yes, we did receive the warning, but we should not take it at face value.
Well, you are the acolytes. I will leave it to you. But I am now concerned.
I look through the med kit, searching for anything that describes sleep or rest.
There are some knockout pills in there.
Sister, perhaps rest would be the best choice. We will also tend to your wound. I hand her a pill.
She closes your hand over the pill and says, "My wound is too deep to be seen to by anyone here, but I need not rest. The acolyte," she points to Westcott, "roused me from sleep for a purpose. I am confident that I have a role to play here."
I look with frustration at Westcott.
I nod my head, close my eyes, and stand behind the initiate. There are two ways we can do this, initiate. We'll ask you one more time. We must follow the will of the Great Spirit, and you are to help us.
I cannot help if I sleep. Was it not you who roused me and told me I had purpose? I am here because you have brought me here, acolyte.
I look towards acolyte Vintar.
Initiate, please close your eyes for a moment. I must discuss with Westcott. And I gesture towards Westcott to go to the back to the seed room.
I step away from the initiate and follow Vintar to the room.
She turns her chair to the console.
I lean into acolyte Vintar. Yes, Vintar, what is it?
I look out the starport, or I look out the window towards the wreckage of the Galilee, and I say, if the people aboard the Galilee are dead, we are without a friar, and we are without the head nuns of our order. We are rudderless, and we must make do and make decisions on our own.
Yes, I've said before, we are being tested.
Yes.
I believe this.
We two brothers shall make the decisions together. But we should not alienate the initiate. I hold the knockout pill in my hand, and I put it into my robes. We should use a gentle hand to guide, to provide leadership to her. But I'm not sure how. What do you think?
Holding my hands together, I nod. I believe that we should do the will of the Great Spirit. And if the Great Spirit is telling us to bring the seed of Eden to the mountain, I believe that's where we should go.
Yes. Did you feel anything when the mountain first appeared on the display?
I did.
You hear a whisper.
When I've placed my finger above it on the map, I could tell there was something in my soul telling me to push there. And as I believe the call coming from the wetlands is a temptation.
I gasp a little bit. You've been granted clairvoyance. An incredible gift.
Yes. When we reunite with the greater church, we should tell them about my experience.
Very well. Let us return. I look up at the seed display, and I open up the little display menu that shows the 3 capabilities of the seed: agriculture, industry, and weapon. There's a little skull icon next to weapon. I gesture towards the display. This is what the seed is capable of.
I step in, my eyes wide. Acolyte Vintar, you know how to interface with the seed of Eden. And I turn to him.
Yes, I learned the simple ways. It is not so different from the CompuStat prayer modules on the Galilee.
Yes, I am behind on my readings. I should catch up. Then I believe the initiate, she must be also part of this plan, this plan of the Great Spirit. We must find out what her role is in this. I agree with you, and I put my hand on your robe where the pill is. Maybe we should not force this. We shall ask again, and if she refuses, we shall allow her. We shall find out what her role is in the order.
Yes. Before we go, I can show you this, and I gesture towards the buttons I use to open the seed display. This green one grants you the sight and the knowledge. This red one means decline or no. These 2 arrows move between the options. It is very similar to the CompuStat prayer modules, and I hope one day that you could experience those as well. But the principle is the same for the Seed of Eden, a simple 4-button system instituted by the Great Spirit.
I will try to remember this. I nod and take a very quick glance at the screen.
There is some turbulence and rocking of the ship, but then it passes.
Oh, we better get to our seats.
Yes,
we might be close.
Yes,
I rush up to the cockpit.
I exit out of the seed menu and follow quickly behind.
I jump into my chair, I strap myself in, and I look out the front of the ship.
The mountain is fast approaching. There is a base that is carved out, but part of the upward mountain has been carved flat, and there's a base in it which appears to go further into the mountain itself. This is a gray slate stone mountainous region, and there's very little greenery in this area at all for several miles around it, around this mountain range.
I look at the various displays, the altitude meter dropping, and I say, please, I have heard tales of St. Bartholomew, how he piloted the ship through the asteroid belts of darkness. He was granted second sight as well. Westcott, please. I get out of the captain's chair. Please guide us.
My eyes shoot wide open. I nervously get out of my chair, sit in the pilot's chair. I put my hands on the controls, and I look over to Vintar. But this is on autopilot, yes?
Yes. It's more for if you feel it necessary, you can take control, and
Yes.
your enlightened soul can perform better than any machine.
I close my eyes and nod. Yes, this is the way of our spirit. The great spirit will guide me.
I sit back in the co-pilot's chair and watch the approach through the exterior cameras, glancing back also at the initiate.
The initiate is in the third chair, the navigator's chair off to the side, and she looks at you, Westcott, with a look of admiration, and she says, "What do we know of this place we are going to? What will they require in payment for whatever services we may engender from them?"
I yell out over the wind speed going over the ship. We will find out when we get there. Initiate, what is your name?
I'm
I
Adelaide.
turn back.
Adelaide?
Adelaide.
Adelaide. I gesture towards the med kit, towards the back. There are many technological trinkets that these the savage peoples of the Outer Rim will jump at a chance to trade for. But we need something. I proceed over to the large lockers and search for a blaster rifle.
There's one. Heavy, two-handed, with a big old battery block on the side.
Very well. If we need to use this, we shall use it. I set the blaster rifle back into the case and close it, walking back to the chair.
The ship makes its final approach, interfacing with the computer, with the land-based computer, telling it where to dock, and it flies in. There's a lot of inertia and pushback as the thrusters and dampeners all activate, and the ship comes to a slow stop, and the kickstands extend, and the whole shuttle lurches to a standstill.
I nervously grip the armrest of the chair.
Outside the windows, there's a medical team with a stretcher and a couple of engineers and a couple of armed guards that are leaving out from the outpost base to the side of the landing pad and approaching the ship.
I breathe a long sigh of relief. Pull my belt off and unstrap myself and look over to the approaching guards and others. I look over to Acolyte Vintar. What should we do?
I believe that one of us should remain at the ship at all times. I think we should negotiate for one of their healers to help the initiate, and if at all possible, the healer should go on our ship. We do not want to fall underneath their control too quickly when we do not know their intentions.
I look back out over and to the approaching medical team. I look back over to Acolyte Vintar. they seem to have some sort of human transportation device that they may want to move her from this ship. But I agree with you. Would you like to speak to them, or shall I?
I have a way with words. I did take 2 lessons in the missionary track, so I may be able to speak with them more easily. I walk over to the a landing ramp button, and my finger hovers over it. Are we in agreement?
I've turned around, still sitting in the chair, and I nod towards Acolyte Vintar.
I press the button, and the hydraulics spring into action, slowly lowering the ramp.
The greeting party has just arrived. They're just walking up, and the leader, wearing a uniform with a little rank insignia and a short brimmed hat, stands there at the base of the ramp, looks at you. He has a sidearm. He looks up. How many are you?
We are 3.
And what are your intentions here, specifically?
We bring the word of the Great Spirit. We wish to save your souls.
I don't know what the 3 of you are going to do, saving all the souls here, but all right. You have
we only wish to speak with our words. You shall know the path of the Great Spirit that you could walk down yourself.
I'm sure we will. You have permission to disembark. Bring the wounded with you.
Our custom is that she remain on the ship. She is badly wounded. Are there any healers amongst you?
We have a medical bay inside the facility that we can bring her to on this stretcher, but there's nothing we can do if she doesn't get off your ship.
I gesture over to I say, one moment, and I look over to Westcott.
Bunch of indecisive religious folk.
They say that they can only heal her outside the ship. I think we should do it.
I stand up and get closer to the doorway and peek out, speaking to Vintar. I slowly nod my head in agreement. Then so it shall be. This may be what the spirit wants. And I get closer. I come out and stand right next to Vintar and whisper to him, "This may be her role in all of this." And yes. I slowly walk out, walk back into the ship. And I tap Adelaide on the shoulder. "Initiate. It is we have help here. Can you stand?" Yes. I hold my arm out.
She takes hold of your arm, stands, and walks where you lead her. She says, "Yes, just tell me what to do, and I shall do it, Acolyte."
So I draw her with me and very carefully help her over the threshold from the door outside of the ship, going into town to the landing gangplank, and to the group of men and others that are waiting.
2 of the medical personnel take her by the arms and lay her on the stretcher, and they start to examine the wounds and run diagnostics and start to wheel her off back toward the inner part of the facility. The officer stands there, looks at her wounds. They start taking her off, and he says, "All right, by the looks of you, you don't have a lot in the way of credits. So I think a fair trade for the life of your friend here is the ship. What do you say?"
Peering down the ramp, I say, The ship belongs to the church. We cannot give it up so easily.
The Church of the Great Spirit is nothing, haven't you heard? He just looks up at the sky at the glowing, what could almost pass as a star, but what you know is the Galilee currently being destroyed.
I lay my hand on Acolyte Vintar's shoulder, and I softly speak to him. It is merely an object. It does nothing. It does not represent the order of the Great Spirit. It is. We are to release these things. The only thing we care about is the seed of Eden and spreading it. If they would like this and take this in return, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. As long as we can take our seed of Eden. And I pull my hand off.
I whisper back to Westcott to give up our only transportation, our only weaponry. We'll be helpless. These people may be savages yet. Look at their teeth. How sharp are they?
I shake my head. We are not helpless, brother. We have the Great Spirit with us.
Vintar exhales slowly and looks over to the officer. We must we have many trade goods in our hold. Let us attempt to garner something that may catch your interest.
Many trade goods on an escape shuttle? I doubt it. And all the goods within the ship are part of the ship. It's part of the deal. Take it or leave it. We can wheel her right back here on my order. He grabs his communication device. Do you want to save the life of your friend or not? The ship and all aboard for the life of your friend. Pick one.
I stare over at Westcott. They mean to take the seed.
My eyes widen and I snap back to the leader. And what is to be of everything? What is to happen to us?
To you, you'll be allowed 1 month of stay, food and board, and until once the end of that comes, you better find yourself employment, or you'll be one of the rats on the street.
I turn to Vintar.
What
choice do we have?
I say, let us assemble the trade goods, and I gesture towards Westcott to open a board.
I nod and walk directly into the ship, immediately rushing back to the Seed of Eden.
He says, "Good. I'd like to see what goods we've newly acquired." And he starts to follow you up with his guards, walking up the gangplank.
I begin to press the button to close the ramp.
While he's on it, it starts to raise up. He says, yes. "Hey!" He grips his gun and rushes forward up toward the main door.
I try to shove him off the ramp.
Roll brawl.
All right.
Or melee.
Let's see. Failure.
He pushes past you, gets on into the ship, draws his laser pistol, and presses it up against your chest, and pushes you up against the console by the door. The rest of the men come in, and as the ramp is raising upward, they're walking on it, and they just barely get in, and they point their guns at the two of you. The officer, bearing his pistol barrel in your ribs, pushing roughly, says, "What's the idea here? What are you hiding?"
We have nothing to hide. I lie. I merely. Sure. Our ship is precious to us. We must speak on what to do.
Well, I would assume you'd have plenty of time to do that on the way planet side. Now that you're here and your friend is getting tended to, the ship is forfeit.
You are a vicious traitor. This is an unfair deal.
Welcome to Port Royal.
I'm holding my hands up. Please, you must let us take one object from the ship before you can have everything else. It is all yours. But one thing, please have mercy on us.
The officer takes the barrel from your side, and the other soldier comes in and points his weapon at you, Vintar. The officer walks over to you, Westcott, gun in hand, and says, "Oh, what one item is so important to the Church of the Great Spirit or other? And it must be pretty valuable, I assume. Show it to me."
I nod. Keeping my hands up, I slowly turn around and just begin walking back towards the ship. Towards the back of the ship. And stand right in front of the Seed of Eden.
He looks at it through the protective glass at the broken casing. He says, "What is it?"
Meanwhile, back in the other room, my hands up, I scan the room, observing the number of guards and their weapons.
It's just the one with his weapon trained on you. The other one followed the officer into the back room with Westcott. Just one on you.
My eyes trace the path to the weapons locker, but snap back to the soldier with his weapon on me. I mean no harm.
He says, "Oh, I'm sure you don't, but business is business. I assume you got some valuable stuff here, right? Maybe," he leans in, "maybe if you give me a cut and tell me where the most valuable things are, I'll let you go."
Our Bibles are precious to us.
I'm not talking about precious to you, you religious-minded oaf. I'm talking about precious to everybody else in the galaxy.
They are smart Bibles. They have many technological wonders within them.
All right, sure.
Even useful to the heathens of the world.
Heathens. That's always been me. All right, show it to me.
Meanwhile, I'm in the back. I have my hands up. I explain. This is it's a ritual object that we use in the Order of the Great Spirit. It is what we use to connect with him and connect others to him as well.
The officer holsters his pistol, the other guard behind him still holding his weapon. He looks at it and says, "A religious object. Looks like technology. Well, I don't know about letting you keep that. Give me one good reason why I should."
I guess I can't, for you're not a believer. So I suppose there's no reason. Is there anything I could do for you that would convince you to let me keep it? Something I could give you?
From the looks of you, you don't have much, so I don't think so. No, we'll be taking whatever that is along with all the contents of the ship. And again, you get a month of stay here, so be grateful for what you get.
We cut back to the main room. Walking over to the lockers, I point to the door that contains the smart Bibles. I say, "The smart Bibles are in there. I shall open it for you."
He says, "All right, go on." He's not pointing his gun at you anymore. He's just holding it down.
I open up a cabinet and pull out a smart Bible. I flip open the page to the story of St. Bartholomew's journey through the asteroid belt. The holographic display appears, and you can see there's tiny asteroids floating around, and a ship is piloting its way through the asteroids. Do you see this image? Incredible, isn't it?
Looks like a pretty standard hologram to me.
But there are many lessons in here. Some to do with medicine and other what you call technologies. And I'm flipping through the various pages.
Well,
and showing the different animations.
He puts the sling on his weapon and grabs the Bible and looks at it. He says, "Well, they did say they'd give me a raise the more skills I had. Medicine? Show me the one on medicine."
Yes, this is it teaches you the beginnings of bandaging and nano healing, I believe is what you call it. The injections that heal the body. I flipped to the page with medicine on it.
He takes it and starts to look at it, gauging how valuable this actually is to him. He's fixated for a moment.
And there's a second tome that is also valuable. I point to the cabinet that contains the pulse rifle.
He looks down and he's like, go get it. Show it to me. And he keeps flipping through.
Westcott, switch.
I down on my knees now, begging to be, please, you don't want this. It is broken. Only members of the Order of the Great Spirit can fix it. Perhaps you just let us have it for some time so we can fix it, and then we can give it back to you. There's much more value to be gained that way.
He looks at it, back down to you, looks over to his guard, and the guard just, all right, fine. You can keep your relic. I bet you'll have to pawn it off for food after a month anyway, so it'll end up in the hands of Port Royal sooner or later. Go ahead. Take it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And I hastily grab the machine, press it close to my chest, and I begin to just walk off the ship.
Okay. Before you exit the room, Vintar.
I twist the dial and click open the cabinet with the rifle in it. I was told to. I pray for my soul. I whisper under my breath, and I put my hand on the rifle. And pull it out.
The guard is flipping through the Bible. Westcott is not in the room yet.
I train the rifle at the guard, distracted, and my finger tightens on the blast rifle trigger. 1, 2, 3, and I fire.
Point blank, don't need to roll.
All right.
Pulse rifle, and there's a blue light that flashes, and the chest of the guard is split open, and blue plasma flies out of it. He just and he falls back and is launched against the back wall and hits the ground. As Westcott is walking out, there's a sound, and a body flies by the door, by the open doorway, and hits the wall. The officer draws his weapon, and the other guard turns around, and they both rush out. The guard turns around the corner and looks at Vintar and says, "Drop the weapon now!"
I attempt to fire again.
Roll range.
Failure.
The pulse rifle shoots just off to the side of him, and he backs up and dodges out of the way, locks eyes with you for a minute. Westcott points his gun at you and says, "Don't even think about it." And then he turns his back to you to shoot at Vintar. Westcott.
I kick one of them. I kick the closest guard to me.
And in the back?
Yes, in the back.
As he starts to fire, he gets pushed forward out of cover, more into your view, Vintar, and his shots go wide and line up the ceiling. The officer behind you runs up and tries to hit you with the butt of his weapon on the back of the head. Roll defend. Yes, Westcott.
Success.
You narrate. You got it.
I can feel a sense of something behind me about to hit me, and I dodge down, clutching the seed of Eden, almost crouched down completely on the floor.
He stumbles over you, and he too stands in the outside the open doorway in full visible view of Vintar.
Yes, I continue firing with the pulse rifle.
Which one?
At the guard with the gun. That was shooting at me before.
Okay.
Success.
The weapon erupts again, and the guard's arm is blown off entirely. He clutches his arm on the ground, and he's just screaming in pain. He dropped the weapon. The officer, having just stumbled over Westcott, turns and points his weapon at you and fires. We'll defend. Bloody religious freak! I knew it.
Failure.
2 strikes. His blaster fires twice, once into your leg and once into your lower belly area. Westcott.
I pull. In one big motion, I pull the large Seed of Eden device over my head and smash it into the guard.
Melee.
Success.
It breaks over his head, and the Seed of Eden falls and crashes on the ground as all the glass crashes around it. The officer is knocked unconscious with that blow.
Holding the Seed of Eden, I look over to Vintar and I look at the destruction that has happened in our ship.
Quickly, we must flee. I heft myself onto the pilot's chair and start punching in the coordinates for the swamp.
I put down the device. I close the ship door. I run over to the seat. What about Initiate Adelaine?
They were going to eat her.
Yes.
We must leave her. I start pressing the buttons to begin the takeoff procedures. Alarms blare, indicating that the hull has damage. I look up at the bullet holes in the hull. Oh no, we cannot leave this planet.
We must stay in the atmosphere. I lean back. I start pressing a few buttons on my console. That's okay. It shouldn't take us too long. I believe we have enough fuel to get to the wetlands.
Yes, I say, is the barbarian captain alive? I gesture towards the officer.
I lean back in my chair, looking back towards the unconscious officer.
Part of his head is bleeding from a gash from the glass as it shattered, but he is still breathing.
I look back towards Vintar. He's still alive, but he needs medical. He needs a healer. Should I put him in the med bay?
I dig in my pocket. We don't want him to wake up for now. Have him take this.
I grab the pill, immediately take up and rush, and stick the pill into his mouth, like positioning him upwards, so it's and sticking the pill in his mouth and kind of slapping his face a bit. Come on, swallow it, swallow it.
I start dialing in the radar frequency that we spoke on before.
The ship takes several minutes to turn on the engines, run all the systems. It's not a quick launch. During that time, outside of the window is visible a few of the engineers that were supposedly giving it a run through. As the engines are whirring to life, they step out and they're looking up at the glass and they're waving and they're like,
I ignore them.
After a moment of ignoring them, they look around, apparently notice that their captain didn't come back from the ship, and one of them turns and runs off toward the main facility.
I rush back into my seat. I start pressing some buttons. Let's try to get this thing getting lift off a little quicker, huh? Start fumbling with the controls.
After just one tense moment, the ship begins, the thrusters begin to whir to life, and there's a low rumbling of rockets beneath you, and the ship just barely starts to lift. There's one more button to click to make it fully lift off, and at that time, there's a squadron of 8 soldiers sprinting out with rifles, and a few of them stop and train it on the ship as it's starting to leave, and the rest keep running up straight toward the door.
I open the frequency to the radio tower of the mountain base. Barbarians of the mountains, I speak to you, Acolyte Vintar of the Holy Spirit. I tell you, we have your captain. He shall not be harmed as long as we receive safe passage out. You are villains and brigands who attempted to rob us of everything we had. But we are merciful and we will let your captain live.
I immediately press the button to lift off.
Social, Vintar.
Success.
The ship whirs to life. And the rockets start to propel it upward, and the nose lifts so you can no longer see the soldiers down below. But no shots are fired as your shuttle lifts off and begins its slow climb up to cruising altitude.
Damn! I clutch the rifle wound in my belly. Oh. Please, the med kit. There must be a tincture for something like this.
Stay there, Acolyte Vintar. I get up and walk over and grab the med kit and rip it open and start looking through, trying to find a healing salve.
There are. The med kit is fully stocked.
I pull out a packet. That it's a healing patch, and I rip it open, and I bring it over to Vintar. Please apply this, Vintar.
I clutch the healing pad to my wound, feeling the coolness spread across my body and the pain lessen. Thank you. I took their lives. Westcott.
You did, and you will need to repent for that, Acolyte Vintar. But we will need to do that in an appropriate time. Right now, we are on a mission of the Great Spirit. And I calmly sit back down.
Wincing, I lean back in the chair. And what of the seed?
It's. I look back towards the seed. I need to look at it. I stand up and walk towards the seed of Eden and investigating any additional damage I may caused, using it as a weapon.
The crack hasn't gotten any larger, but the seed itself did open up from the force of it falling out of its protective container.
The seed is out of the container. We may need to plant this soon.
I look over. Is it blossoming? I stare at the seed.
The seed is a combination of a biological organism and a microchip.
It doesn't look beautiful to me. I've been misled on the beauty of the seed, but
it needs to be planted. Vintar, have faith.
I am reminded of the pumpkin plants on the Galilee, how the pumpkin seeds would take root and sprout and become the beautiful orange pumpkins that we love.
Yes, but I do love when we would carve our favorite saints into them. It was a great festival. Yes. But before that, we must. I begin to gently put everything of the seed of Eden together a bit and start to slowly pick it up. I must return this to its safe place, and I begin walking it back to the ship, back in the ship.
At the same time, I begin to tidy up the room. I begin to haul the bodies towards the back of the ship. Not the officer, but hauling the bodies and the body parts towards the back of the ship at the same time.
What is done with the officer?
I leave him lying there at the moment.
As the ship approaches the wetlands, the same transmission signal that jammed the mountain signal hails you.
I picking up the one of the Bibles that fell to the floor. I put it back into the locker and walk over to the radio. I press the button. Yes.
Oh, I'm glad you thought better of your foolish decision and you actually came to your senses. Land not on one of the trees. That's the best I can tell you. Get as close to the beacon as you can. My hut's underground.
Pulling up the topological map on the shuttle computer, I look desperately for a location without trees in the swamp.
There are not any big locations without trees, but there is a small clearing relatively close to the source of the signal.
You're looking over at the damage to the hull. I wince and press the land button to begin landing the ship.
There is no autopilot available. Must be done manually.
Westcott, do you believe you have the vision?
Brother, I don't know. I thought my clairvoyance, as you spoke of, it led us to the correct location, but now I question whether or not I have the true guidance of the Great Spirit.
All of the saints in history faced ordeals, and this was our ordeal. I believe in you.
That is all the reassurance I need, brother, as I man the controls and begin to take the ship down to land.
Holding my hands in a prayer in the co-pilot seat. I close my eyes.
Fail.
The trees extend up in wild, untamed fashion. It is a jungle of a swamp, and several trees catch the landing gear and the downward pointing thrusts, the downward pointing thrusters. So the ship is rocked to and fro, and there's one point where there's a sound in the back left of the ship as if something has clogged one of the thruster vents, and there's a explosion, and the ship starts to turn and twirl and spin before it eventually crashes down into the swamp and starts to, and it comes to a stop. The rest of the ship is still on, and some of the engines are still whirring, and a warning signal comes up with a blinking red light and a siren above that says, "Warning, fire! Warning, fire!"
Brother, are you okay? I'm disheveled in my chair.
I unstrap myself and rise gingerly to my feet. I was jostled, but I think I'm okay. I look over at the listing ship, and I say, "We may need to flee. We don't know how deep the swamp is."
I lean back. Brother, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's.
I beg your forgiveness.
I grant you. We are trapped in crisis. The two of us. I begin to grab the blaster rifle and sling it over my shoulder. Take the med kit.
I unbuckle myself and roll out of my chair. My posture is just slumped over. I grab the med kit and drag it behind me.
And the barbarian captain, I walk back towards where the barbarian captain was laying.
The med kit and the blaster are too large and heavy to be carried along with the captain. But the captain is there.
Ugh.
Pick two.
What shall we take, brother? We don't have enough arms to carry everything. When we don't want to forget the seed of Eden.
Yes, I take the seed.
I nod. I drop the med kit in and walk to the back.
The seed is small enough it can be carried in one arm and something else in the other.
So I pick up the seed of Eden, holding it with both arms, and return to Vintar. Perhaps I could grab two things.
I look at the blaster rifle. I say, although I am reminded of the stories of many martyrs in history, I do not believe that one rifle can stand against an army. So let us take this man. Let us show him gratitude. Let us show him mercy. And
I nod. Yes,
that will change things.
Brother, you are merciful. Maybe not to all men, such as the ones in the back, but you are merciful to some.
They struck out at me.
Yes, and what is the Great Spirits expect you to do?
Yes, we to defend oneself is not a violation of our code.
No, of course not. I'm sure the elders would agree with you in your actions. And I reach down and pick up the med kit in my other hand.
I begin to drag the officer out of the ship.
The ship is sinking into the swamp, but it hasn't been too long, and you're all able to successfully exit and step away as the ship sinks lower and lower and lower into the swamp.
I trudge through the mud, the bottoms of my robes getting muddied, dirty, as I lift up both of the seed of Eden and my med kit and start to walk to drier land.
It It is
I
evening
sling
now.
the office. I sling the officer over my shoulder and trudge alongside him.
It is evening now. The sun is setting. There are insects everywhere. There's the constant buzzing sound. There are birds and all manner of creatures making a cacophony of noise around you as the sun is barely seen through the dense swamp.
Vile creatures. I clutch the wound glued shut by this poultice, and it begins to itch. Ugh. I feel my injuries, and I trudge along. I believe this is the way. I point in a direction.
I'm holding the two objects. Brother, do you require more? Another patch, perhaps.
I feel that we cannot dress the wounds properly in this swamp of sludge.
I nod. I put my hood over my head, hoping to block off some of the bugs. Hopefully that blocks the bugs. But where is this place we're looking for? Did I hear they were subterranean, an underground village?
There is some sort of underground base. We do not know how many people here, but there was one former priest. I think back to the. I close my eyes for a moment and think back to the map I saw, the topological map.
Roll ingenuity.
Failure. I think only of St. Bartholomew's journey through the asteroids. I don't remember. I think we should try to find higher ground, but it is nearby. We landed nearby.
As the sun is setting, I use the momentary time of light to scan the horizon and the surroundings to see if there's any sort of opening that leads further down in the wetlands.
The area here does have a somewhat noticeable tilt to it, where toward the north it's just slightly higher than toward the south.
Brother, I believe this way, to the north.
Okay. Yes, I will follow. I trudge along, dragging the unconscious officer.
Approaching the highlands, there's a red flare. As soon as the sun fully sets, a red flare shoots up ahead of you.
I stare.
Brother, look! I point out to the flare.
Is that the sign of the priest?
I hope so. The Great Spirit is finally guiding us. It's happening. It's happening.
All right. I follow.
After a few moments, there's a flashlight coming from the swamp, and someone approaches. Dodging through trees, moving out, stops 20 feet away from you, shines his light at you. You the poor sods that crashed your vessel?
We are.
Well, hurry up and get up here. You found me. By who knows whose grace. He comes over and sees the officer. He steps up to you, grabs him, and says, "Who's this?" And hefts him on his own shoulder.
He attacked us. The best way, I would not call him that, but some might call him a hostage.
He's an aggressor, and we are showing mercy on his soul. I interrupt.
We are.
All right. It's hard to get a good read on his own face because it's dark. He's like, all right, follow me. He leads you up the hill into a bunker. There's a little hatch door with camouflage on it. He removes the camouflage, opens up the door. It starts to let down. There's a rope pulley system there to move supplies down. So he ties the rope around the hostage, drops him all the way down, leads you down, closes the hatch above him, takes you down into his underground, fully reinforced carbon concrete structure, puts the hostage on a bed there, and he turns and looks at you. He is an old man with white stubble and slicked back white hair. He has tattered garments, and standing there under the flickering light of his bunker, he looks at you and looks directly at the seed that Westcott is holding and says, "So, this is what this has all been about. You got one of those."
I look down to the seed of Eden, dropping the med kit to the floor gently, and I hold on to the seed of Eden. Yes, it is our mission, as given to us by the Great Spirit.
I used to believe the same thing, but recent events have proven otherwise. But if you still view this as your mission, your destiny, I won't stop you. In fact, I'll help you, if only for the sake that these folks didn't like you. I like them a lot less. You know how to use that seed.
I look down at it, and I look over to Acolyte Vintar.
We understand the basic movements of the 4 buttons.
4 buttons. It needs a host. The seed is implanted in someone, and then it grows and brings about whatever it's told. So if you really want to plant it, pick who you plant it in. They will give their life for the seed.
Does it take their soul?
If you still believe the soul mumbo jumbo, it unifies their soul with the seed, and they enter paradise. They become the seed of paradise and the tree that grows by the waters.
I can think of no higher honor.
Are you sure, Acolyte Vintar?
I look down at my wound, say, I've been injured deeply, and I do not know how well I could survive out here, but
Acolyte Vintar, I put my hand on his shoulder. We could suggest our aggressor. Perhaps this is a way of the Great Spirit giving him some sort of forgiveness. This is his way to repent.
What? But he's evil, and he attempted to steal from us, and he's a thief. What sort of good could grow?
Acolyte Vintar, Acolyte Vintar, you are a murderer.
That's true. I say, perhaps someone. I could never ask you directly to do such a thing.
Well, I with the power of clairvoyance, I believe that I am not the one who should be sacrificing their life for this. I foresee many years in the service of the Great Spirit, for he needs me in the future, and I am not the one. I do not believe, as I do not foresee that I am the one that is to be sacrificed for this.
The old man goes and sits down on the couch next to the prisoner, and he just looks at you with amusement like, yeah, this is what religious folks do.
I have an idea. As you know, those that commit sin may ask for forgiveness, and they may be granted forgiveness. It is possible that despite this man's normal will, he is restful now. He is sleeping, and we can forgive him first.
Yes, that is true. As long as we outrank them as a member in the church, which we would do, we bring him in as an initiate. We forgive him of his sins for his trials, and yes, then we begin the sacrifice for the seed of Eden.
Yes,
it sounds like a plan, Acolyte.
Yes, I look over to the old priest. Tell me, priest, what is your name?
I had a priestly name, Seliphoth. Don't go by it anymore. Go by Tucker.
I hope that I speak to you as Seliphoth. Do you have any of the remaining candles of forgiveness that we might do the ritual?
Yes, I have all that. I kept it. I don't know why. Sentimental. He gets up from the couch, goes over to a cabinet, opens it up, pulls out a box, hands it to you.
All right.
Everything you need.
I shall set up the ring of candles, and we shall purge this man of sin as he lays sleeping.
And over the course of an hour, the ritual is done, and the seed of Eden has one last task.
Please implant it, Westcott.
I shall. If you will guide me through the 4 buttons, I will initiate the implant to the sacrificial.
We need to pick one of the 3 options: agriculture, industry, or weapon.
Perhaps we shall ask the priest, for he knows the Port Royal, and although maybe he has lost his faith, he may have a good inclination of what we should do with the seed of Eden. I turn to the priest.
He stands there leaning up against a table, the flickering light casting odd shadows on his face. He says, "It's really up to you. To survive out here, weapons. Although, I will admit, we could use a bit of industry. Agriculture isn't so much what I need. I usually get what I need from hunting. Those poor sods in the mountain, they could have used some agriculture. But here, you never have too many weapons."
I have a dream. I close my eyes, and I hope that we can create a wonderful temple filled with the goods of trade. So I believe in industry. What do you believe in, Westcott?
If industry is what will... what I do foresee is that Port Royal has many people who need help, and they will need our help and the help of the Great Spirit. And it is our duty as the Order to help liberate and free them from any leader who is false. And so I believe industry will help us. And I agree with you, brother. If we can create a competitive location that will help give an alternative lifestyle to show people the way of the Great Spirit.
Yes, we are in agreement. I point at the sharp end of the seed. You know what must be done now.
Yes. and I hold my finger over the button, look towards Vintar, and press it.
The seed opens up, extends out, spikes that go into the chest of the officer. He just coughs up blood, and it just trickles down his face as he lies on his back. And then the seed whirs to life, and there's a glowing of the circuitry, makes some sounds, some high-pitched whirring, and then and the blood starts to ooze from the wound. And the old priest looks at it and says, "Now all we got to do is bury him outside." And that's
we
what
thank you for your we thank you for your sacrifice. All right, cool.
Sorry, we went a little long. That was a lot of fun.
This is perfect. So usually we end at exactly 2 hours stream time and 1:51. So,
but that gives us less time to talk.
Sure. Yeah. No. So what happens is that we end the game at 2 hours stream time, and then we could talk for however long we want. But I just use the stream time as the timer, so we can talk however long we want. So it's all good.
Hold on. So let me open this up. When you said we usually 2 hour stream time sound good. Oh, okay. I thought you were telling me, hey, we already passed the thing. It was supposed to be 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I was unclear on the private messages. So what I usually do is I just use that as a clock for however long the prep and the session itself is. So there's no particular end time for this stream.
Okay, so we technically ended a little bit early for game time then.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Cool.
It's good though. Cool. There's less of us too. It's not a full game either, so it's
I think when I've done like one-on-one, it's kind of hard to stretch that more than an hour. So with fewer people usually you get to a conclusion faster, which is good.
Yeah.
So cool.
With the logistics out of the way.
That was fun. You did great. If you've never run sci-fi before, I mean, I thought that was
excellent. I thought that was a lot of fun. I had a blast, and I think we had.
You did have a blast, and you got blasted.
Yeah, we got blasted. I think that I had a whole lot of fun playing these religious characters, and just having the religious interactions. I really like playing clerics in D&D, so I felt like I fell into this pretty quickly. I also really liked our dynamic between the two of us. Because I feel that we weren't like really pushing like I'm this kind of priest and I disagree with that, right? Like kind of like really shoving down the conflict. But I think that we did have some conflicts, we had disagreements, so but we were on the same team, so it was great.
Yes, we were trying to figure out what was best for what we believed our religion was trying to embody, and our interpretation of it as acolytes,
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought that y'all would have more of a disagreement, more for the drama. Like, hey, I have strong opinions about stuff. And for for like the first half, I was kind of disappointed that neither of you appeared to have strong opinions and strong personal convictions. But it really worked well in the end, because even though y'all were mostly in agreement, you encountered drama with the world itself, and you had to make some decisions like, do we shoot this unarmed guy reading the Bible and I just murder him, right? Or the girl, it's like, there were a few dilemmas there. It's like, hey, do you choose the life of your friend or this Eden thing? Okay, do you choose the life of this unarmed guard or this Eden thing? Do you choose the life of this like when the ship was sinking, it's like, do you save his life or do you get the gun in the medical thing? And then that allowed you to have an extra vessel where one of you didn't have to sacrifice yourself for it later, so there was a consequence. And then again, it's a choice, like who gets it? Like, what do you value? I think those were 4 big things that asked you, what do you value? What is actually most valuable? What are you willing to sacrifice? I thought it was hilarious when you're like, oh, they're all cannibals. They would eat her anyway. It's like, you have 0 evidence of this. But like, I love the religious presumptions that Acolyte was got. He's like, I have clairvoyance. And you're like, yeah, you have clairvoyance. Like, all right, let me try the ship. Totally mess everything up.
I think that's great. That's always fun about running like religious characters.
I know, you're so confident about something, and it's great.
Yeah, the thing is like, what happens, I think, in a lot of TTRPGs is that you're very concerned about making the right choice. But if you're like, well, God told me to press this button, so
Yeah.
there you
God
go.
told me to
All
press
right,
this
now
button.
something's happening.
Yeah.
So I think that's really fun. Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, when it comes to the kind of like the interpersonal conflict, I kind of like decided based on what I rolled for my character sheet, which is a guy that has really high social, that I was going to be kind of like the schemer behind the shadows or whatever. So I would never be like, Westcott, you're wrong, and I outrank you. So that sort of thing. Like, because I think that also like doing that sort of stuff like very directly in this particular setting would kind of like throw off, because we're basically fucked. Our mothership blew up. So I think kind of like introducing kind of like I outrank you, or like, no, you're wrong, Westcott. You dummy, you didn't pay attention in religious school. like really tuning that up really high just to like start with would be a bad choice.
Yeah.
So
it can work, but
yeah,
I think y'all made a really good choice on your dynamic here.
Yeah, I had a blast.
Cool.
That's great.
You showed that you can have a really you can have some meaningful stuff in 2 hours. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I thought that was really fun.
This is I'm very satisfied. I wanted to GM and I wanted to have a good time, and I got both. So this is a great game for me.
Yeah, I had fun. Let's see.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, why don't we actually do what was your favorite part in the whole game? Let's go around the table and describe that. The favorite part.
I think it was I think it has to be the series of events where you're clairvoyant. Yeah, I'm clairvoyant. Fail. I still think you're clairvoyant. Yeah, I agree. Fail. Are you clairvoyant? Remember, saints go through trials. All right, fail. It's like maybe at some point you're not clairvoyant.
Yeah, the clairvoyance was kind of fun.
It's like every saint has an ordeal. Fail.
Yeah. So I really liked the initiate interaction, the 3-way initiate interaction, because what that did was that started us off with something that's actually pretty complex, which is like there's somebody that is lower ranked than us that is kind of like telling us stuff, and we're like,
are we gonna force her to
we got
like,
this medicine,
sleep or
but and she is injured, so we want her to sleep, and we're also like worried about that, so we talk about it, and where it's like, so I thought like then we go into the other room and we talk about it. So like I really liked the complexity of that right off the bat, which was great. I thought that was fantastic. The big thing for I think for me in role-playing games, if you're focused on role play, is give a lot of stuff for the characters to work with and make choices, so the characters can make different choices. And kind of
and you did that. You threw all, like, you gave us the selection between these two places to land, and then you gave us like interesting NPCs and situations to interact with, and it was really good. Yeah, my favorite part was probably when I was just ready to grab the seed of Eden and just get off the ship and see what we could do with it, and then. Then Chris or Vintar was like, no, I have different plans. I am going to defend this place. And I was surprised it worked out. And then I just walk into to you have just killed a guy, and then you just start blasting these other guys, and I'm just like freaking out, like, oh no, I guess I need to help.
It's the lack of communication. In one room, it's like, all right, we've come to a deal. Good, let's leave.
Yes.
In the other room, it's like, exactly. I have to defend everyone. This is my only option. So, right? It's like, hey, we made a deal.
And there's nothing I could have done. Like, you had already killed someone. So I was like, well, I guess we're in it already. So,
for sure. Yeah. I thought that was great as well. Also, like, I don't know, like, when I get really immersed in a TTRPG, I feel like I can kind of like see the layout of the ship, and I can like totally like understand where, like, so I had this vision of kind of like me shooting from across the lockers down this little narrow hallway at this guy, and then there's like a back room, then you pop out of the back room. So like it was very like fucking cinematic in my mind. And
just like a sliding door opens and I appear and I'm there with like holding myself.
The pressure, and so you're in kind of like the secret back room.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like super exciting. Like I was very excited during that section because that was a very fun section.
I like combat.
That's cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I think I don't really have any other commentary. Anything else you guys want to say? Let's bring back the spreadsheet.
Oh yeah, there's a after session stuff.
Oh, yeah, we gotta fill it.
Choose new tone setting.
Yeah, so we're going to remove drama, and we're going to remove science fiction.
I hope we did enough drama. I feel like we did. I feel like it was okay.
Yeah, I think, in all honesty, if you don't 100% like super nail the tone and theme, that's okay. It's kind of a
it's a challenge, right? Yeah, it's a challenge.
It's a guide and not a requirement.
Yeah, I think I would say the interpersonal conflicts with us and the initiate and the officer that satisfies the drama requirement. Like we didn't go into the goblin cave and kill 20 goblins that didn't speak to us. Like we didn't do that. We had some interpersonal interaction.
The drama was embedded from the start. So
right, cool. Yeah. So as the GM, you can fill in one or both of these.
Cool. Setting. Man, that's a submarine.
Ooh, that is good.
That's a great one.
And tone, theme. I want to say, I don't want to get too close to like Alice in Wonderland, like whimsical, but I'm thinking this might not be a good one. I'm just thinking childlike, but that might be
maybe storybook.
Yeah,
something similar to that.
So we do have Fable already.
Fable. Oh yeah, okay, not that.
So you're looking for kind of like. Yeah, we could workshop this. So you're looking for something that's kind of like evocative of Alice in Wonderland.
No, not really. I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of something more like a childlike sense of wonder, where a child doesn't quite. I mean, when I think of Alice in Wonderland, yeah, it's wondrous, but it's also creepy and weird and but I'm thinking of childlike sense of wonder without that, where it's like, oh wow, what a wonderful world, and it's although that might be more of a setting thing. I don't know.
Okay, so I think I get what you're saying, which is basically the thing that you're talking about is kind of like characters exploring the world with kind of open minds and open hearts. Is that kind of the idea? Which is like we're going into a new world or something like that. Is that kind of the idea? Which is basically
world, wonder, exactly that kind of.
So we're entering kind of like a wondrous place or something like that. And you do you need to take a moment?
That sounds good. You two roleplay amongst yourselves. One second.
Okay. Westcott. I love our new factory. It's wonderful. Here, take these candles.
We'll sell this to Port of Royale.
Yes.
We'll hopefully get initiate Adeline back.
Yeah, so the Port Royale was the name of the mountain people?
Yeah, Port Royal.
Okay, got it. Okay, so back to tone/themes. So it's like a lot of
new world wonder, but again, that might be more setting than theme.
Well, it's like I think you could apply that to different things, which is basically like, so it's kind of like, curiosity would be kind of like a theme.
Sure. Okay. Curiosity, wonder. That makes sense. That's good.
Oops. Am I spelling that right?
Looks right. Yeah, curious with an S.
Curiosity, wonder. Okay.
Wonderland?
Wonderland? Yeah.
Maybe. It's more evocative of wonder. I don't know.
Yeah, I think like you could imagine like this being applied to a science fiction, this tone. Like you go down to a planet and it's kind of like it's covered in gemstones and kind of like we're walking around and each gemstone has a voice and so it's not like terrifying and it's not like horrifying. It's not like we could sell these gemstones for $100. No, it's more like, whoa, this planet, I don't know. It's difficult to pull off perhaps,
exactly,
but I think I get it. Yeah.
If noir can be a tone and a theme, then curiosity can be a theme.
Yep, I think that works. Cool. So that completes the choose a new tone setting. And anything else to say on stream?
Thank you, Acolyte Vintar, Chris, for running UnPC. Thanks for letting me on. I had a blast. Thank you, Acolyte Westcott, Spawner, for being here. I really appreciate both of you showing up and spending part of the evening with me. I got to play. I got to have a good time. I hardly ever get to actually play any games that I enjoy because I just don't enjoy games. They just aren't good enough anymore. But I really enjoyed this. This has been a really highlight of my week. So I appreciate you.
Well, awesome. Well, great. I'm glad to hear that. It's really good for me too because I just I love having a weekly thing that I always do. And the table's always going to be open. So please come back next week. However many weeks you want to come back. It's every Friday for the entire year. So come back anytime. I'm glad we all had fun. I think, let's see. We had some comments. Zonalar says, have fun with the stream. Elf Hunter says, have a great game. Absolutely. We've got Pancake. He was commenting during the world creation stuff. Starting an escape pod. We did start in the escape pod, more or less.
Pancake, you could have been on here.
Yeah, you could have been on here. Fantastic. That was the commentary. I'm gonna end the stream now. We're gonna stick around for post discussion. But yeah, we had fun. Adios. Thanks to all the viewers. Ending in a couple seconds.